Welcome to the channel. After 60, riding isn't about proving anything. It's about comfort, control, and enjoying every mile. These are 7 Japanese adventure bikes designed to protect your back, your hands, and your shoulders, while still delivering real performance. Let's find the one that keeps you riding for the next decade. Number 7. Honda CB500X. Picture this. You're 53 years old, standing in a showroom, surrounded by 600-pound adventure bikes that look like they belong on the Dakar Rally. Then you see the CB500X, and suddenly adventure feels possible again. Honda's 471 cubic centimeters parallel twin delivers 47 horsepower and 32 pound-feet of torque. Not earth-shattering numbers, but here's what matters. This engine produces almost zero vibration at highway speeds. Your hands don't go numb. Your mirrors actually show what's behind you instead of turning into vibrating abstract paintings. At 434 pounds wet, this is a bike you can actually pick up when it tips over on soft gravel, something your lower back will appreciate at the next rest stop. What makes the CB500X genuinely comfortable? That 830 millimeter seat height means your feet plant firmly at stoplights without tiptoeing anxiety. The wide, well-padded saddle spreads your weight evenly. Riders regularly cover 400-mile days without the dreaded tailbone pain that ruins the next morning. The upright handlebar position keeps wrist angles neutral, preventing the carpal tunnel flare-ups that plagued your sport bike years ago. Honda engineered foam-wrapped hand grips that eliminate bar-end buzz, critical when your joints don't cushion impacts like they did at 25. The adjustable windscreen blocks whine from your chest and shoulders because cold air at 70 miles per hour triggers that arthritis you pretend doesn't exist. Here's the financial reality. $7,399 brand new, with oil changes every 8,000 miles. Fuel economy hits 65 miles per gallon, meaning your adventure budget goes toward experiences, not gas stations. The CB500X proves comfort doesn't require massive displacement, just smart engineering that respects your body. But what if you need more wind protection and touring capability? Number 6 delivers exactly that. Number 6, Kawasaki Versys 650. You know that moment when you swing your leg over a bike and your lower back doesn't immediately scream? That's the Versys 650 whispering, "Welcome home, friend." Kawasaki's 649 cubic centimeters parallel twin cranks out 66 horsepower and 46 pound-feet of torque with a 270-degree crank that sounds like a V-twin but maintains parallel twin smoothness. At 465 pounds wet, it's light enough for parking lot maneuvers, yet substantial enough that crosswinds don't turn highway riding into a wrestling match. Here's where the Versys earns its comfort crown. Kawasaki re-engineered the seat foam with multi-density layers that eliminate the butt bounce common to adventure bikes. You stay planted in the saddle during 8-hour interstate slogs instead of constantly shifting weight like you're riding a mechanical bull. The step seat design provides multiple seating positions. When your tailbone demands relief after 200 miles, you simply slide back 2 inches and gain another 100 miles of comfort. The rear preload adjustment knob lets you dial suspension without tools. Perfect when your hands don't grip wrenches like they used to. The wide touring windscreen and built-in handguards create a wind-reduced bubble that protects your neck and shoulders from 80-plus miles per hour buffeting that triggers tension headaches. Maintenance follows Kawasaki's reliable schedule. Oil changes every 7,600 miles. Valve checks every 15,000 miles. At $9,399 for the LT version, with hard luggage included, you're buying a complete touring package. Fuel economy hovers around 50 miles per gallon. The Versys 650 is the bike for riders who've learned that good enough is actually perfect. Speaking of perfect, if you're enjoying this list so far, subscribe to the channel. We make content built specifically for seniors riders who still love the thrill of the road. Just with a little more wisdom and a lot more comfort, Number 5 combines V-twin character with legendary reliability. Number 5, Suzuki V-Strom 650 XT. There's a reason experienced riders call the V-Strom 650 the comfortable cockroach. It survives everything while keeping your spine blissfully happy mile after endless mile. Suzuki's 645 cubic centimeters, 90-degree V-twin produces 70 horsepower and 44 pound-feet of torque with that signature V-twin rumble that sounds mechanical yet refined. At 470 pounds wet, it hits the Goldilocks zone. Stable enough for highway confidence, yet manageable enough that dropping it doesn't require a rescue team. What separates the XT from pretenders? That legendary wide saddle feels like sitting in your favorite recliner. Riders casually report 500-mile days without invoking creative profanity. The foam density stays supportive yet plush even after 50,000 miles, unlike competitors whose seats turn into wooden planks after 2 seasons. Here's the engineering genius. Suzuki's 90-degree V-twin layout creates perfect primary balance. No counterbalancer needed. Translation: your hands don't vibrate numb at 75 miles per hour, and that chronic hand tingling you've accepted as normal suddenly disappears. The upright handlebar position eliminates wrist strain, and the narrow tank lets you grip easily with your knees, taking pressure off your lower back. The adjustable windscreen blocks wind effectively, and the soft suspension with long travel smooths potholes and washboard gravel that would compress your vertebrae on sportier bikes. At around $9,200 brand new, with oil change at every 7,500 miles, owners regularly report 80,000 miles plus with minimal drama. This is the bike experience riders choose when comfort becomes non-negotiable. If the V-Strom comfort impressed you, number 4 takes practicality to genius levels. Number 4, Honda NC 750X. Imagine an adventure bike designed by someone who actually understands what riders over 45 genuinely need, instead of what magazines say looks cool on photo shoots. Honda's 745 cubic centimeters parallel twin with a forward-canted design delivers 58 horsepower and 50 pound-feet of torque at just 4,750 revolutions per minute, meaning the engine produces maximum torque at the exact revolutions per minute where you cruise on highways. No constant downshifting, no high RPM screaming. At 493 pounds wet, it's substantial yet manageable. Here's where the NC 750X gets genuinely weird and brilliant. That 21-liter storage compartment under the seat, where the gas tank usually lives, lets you carry one full-face helmet or a week's worth of gear. The actual fuel tank sits low and centered, dropping the center of gravity so dramatically that slow-speed maneuvers feel like riding a 400 cubic centimeter bike, not a 750. The wide, supportive saddle spreads weight perfectly, creating that cocoon riding position that feels like your favorite armchair. The upright bars and relaxed foot peg position eliminate pressure points. Your knees bend naturally. Hips stay neutral. Shoulders relax. Honda-engineered body panels that block wind and road noise, creating an eerily quiet riding experience that reduces mental fatigue. But here's the game-changing feature: 70-plus miles per gallon fuel economy. That means fewer fuel stops, which means fewer times your stiff knees have to swing over the saddle. The DCT automatic transmission option eliminates clutch work entirely, perfect when arthritis makes clutch pulls painful. Maintenance follows Honda's bulletproof schedule, oil changes every 8,000 miles, and these engines regularly exceed 100,000 miles without major surgery. At $8,999 brand new, you're buying a truly practical adventure bike. Now, if you want lighter bike power wrapped in comfort technology, number 3 delivers. Number 3, Kawasaki Versys 1000 SE. There's comfort, then there's I just rode 600 miles and feel like I could do another 300 comfort. The Versys 1000 SE lives exclusively in that second category. Kawasaki's 1,043 cubic centimeters inline 4 generates 120 horsepower and 75 pound-feet of torque, offering effortless passing power in any gear without the mental calculation of, do I have enough to pass this RV? At 567 pounds wet, it's the heaviest bike on this list. But here's the secret: that weight disappears the moment you roll. What makes the SE model genuinely special? Showa Skyhook ER semi-active suspension that adjusts damping 200 times per second based on road conditions. Hit a pothole? The system softens instantly. Lean into a canyon corner, it firms up automatically. For riders whose vertebrae no longer cushion impacts like they did at 25, this technology adds 5 years to your riding career without exaggeration. The stepped seat design provides 4 distinct seating positions for shifting weight during marathon days. Slide forward for aggressive riding, slide back for relaxed cruising, shift left or right to stretch different leg muscles, all without stopping. The tall windscreen creates a calm air pocket even at 85 miles per hour plus. And Kawasaki added a 6th gear overdrive that drops RPM 7% at highway speeds, drastically reducing vibration fatigue. The heated grips aren't luxury. They're medical necessity when cold triggers or arthritis. Cruise control, cornering ABS, and traction control compensate for aging reflexes without feeling patronizing. Maintenance follows Kawasaki's schedule. Oil changes every 7,600 miles. Valve checks every 15,200 miles. At $18,399, fuel economy sits around 42 miles per gallon. But what if you want V-twin character with flagship comfort at a lower price? And hey, if you're still watching, you're clearly one of us. Go ahead and hit like. And if you're not already part of Rev and Ride, subscribe for motorcycle content made for riders who value comfort, character, and bikes that actually make sense. Number 2 answers. Number 2, Suzuki V-Strom 1050 XT. Close your eyes and imagine 600 miles, 1 tank of fuel, 0 back pain, and you still want to ride tomorrow. The V-Strom 1050 XT makes that fantasy everyday reality for thousands of riders. Suzuki's 1037 cubic centimeters 90-degree V-twin with variable valve timing produces 106 horsepower and 74 pound-feet of torque. Smooth, linear power that builds confidence rather than triggering adrenaline panic. At 545 pounds wet, it carries its weight low and centered, making slow-speed control surprisingly confidence-inspiring despite the large displacement. The XT's comfort engineering starts with that Audi plush saddle that supports your entire pelvis, instead of concentrating pressure on tailbone pain points. The multi-layer foam stays supportive yet soft even after 8-hour days. Riders regularly cover 700-plus-mile marathons without the standing stretch, wiggle dance that signals butt death approaching rapidly. Here's what separates the XT from pretenders. Fully adjustable KYB suspension, front and rear, with 160 millimeters of travel that you can dial to perfection. Whether riding solo, 2-up, or loaded with 100 pounds of camping gear, the suspension soaks up railroad tracks, frost heaves, and potholed pavement that would compress your vertebrae on sportier bikes. Suzuki's 90-degree V-twin creates near-zero vibration at any RPM. Your hands stay comfortable, mirrors stay useful, and that chronic hand numbness you accepted as normal vanishes completely. The tall, adjustable windscreen and generous fairings block wind effectively. Maintenance is refreshingly simple. Oil changes every 7,500 miles. At $14,999 brand new, the V-Strom 1050 XT offers flagship comfort without flagship pricing. Fuel economy hovers around 45 miles per gallon, impressive for a large V-twin. And now, the ultimate comfortable adventure bike that combines everything perfectly. Number 1, Yamaha Tracer 9 GT Plus. There's a reason the Tracer 9 GT Plus claims the throne. Yamaha built it specifically for riders who demand sport performance wrapped in luxury touring comfort. And your aging body notices the difference immediately, every single mile. Yamaha's 890 cubic centimeters CP3 crossplane triple delivers 117 horsepower and 68 pound-feet of torque with a 270-degree firing order that sounds like a mechanical symphony. Smooth as silk, yet characterful enough to make gas station strangers jealous and ask questions. At 493 pounds wet, it's nearly 100 pounds lighter than comparable full-size touring bikes, making it nimble through canyon carving, yet planted during interstate crosswinds. The GT Plus earns top honors through that sculpted touring saddle, wide, scooped, and padded like a luxury car seat with memory foam. Riders report 600-plus mile days without the tailbone torture that ended previous bikes. The electronically adjustable suspension transforms from sport sharp to Cadillac soft via handlebar controls, meaning your morning back stiffness doesn't dictate riding style. Here's where the GT Plus demolishes competitors. Full fairing coverage with an electrically adjustable windscreen that moves 4 inches at the push of a button. Too much wind? Raise it. Too much buffeting? Lower it. The heated grips and heated seats come standard. When you're 45 plus, cold doesn't just feel uncomfortable, it triggers joint inflammation that ruins the next 3 days completely. The cruise control rests your throttle hand during those endless Nevada straightaways, and the quick shifter eliminates clutch work during spirited riding. The 7-inch TFT display shows navigation clearly. Maintenance follows Yamaha's playbook. Oil changes every 6,000 miles. Valve checks every 26,600 miles. At $16,499, fuel economy sits around 47 miles per gallon. This is the bike for riders who refuse to choose between speed and spine health. 7 bikes proving age equals wisdom, not limits. These machines respect that your body earned its comfort. Every scar, every lesson learned. Which bike extends your adventure? Share this with riding buddies planning their next decade on 2 wheels. Want to know which bikes never break down regardless of age? If you spotted your next ride or learned something new today, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling us which bike you'd take on a grand tour. Ride safe, ride smart, and we'll see you in the next one.